Welcome to Pod Me If You Can. It's Friends Month, and today's film stars David Schwimmer. It's called Picking Up the Pieces. It's off this comedy pack, and also stars Sharon Stone, Woody Allen, Cheech Marin, Kiefer Sutherland, and honestly, so many more. Tex, played by Woody Allen, is driving his dead wife's body into Mexico to get rid of it. He recently murdered his wife Candy, played by Sharon Stone, and using his butcher equipment cut her into 7 pieces. Her severed hand drops off the back of his pickup truck, and later a blind woman trips over it, restoring her vision. The people in the local New Mexico town believe it is the hand of the Virgin Mary, but Father Leo, played by David Schwimmer, is skeptical. People come to the town and one by one their prayers are answered. Tex decides he must head back to the town and steal the hand and dispose of it properly before local law enforcement catch up with him. It's always really interesting to see a Woody Allen film that he's had nothing to do with creatively, that he's simply acting in. He didn't write it, he didn't direct it. It's a TV movie, and he said that the offer was too lucrative to refuse. So clearly the money was here for Woody Allen. I gotta be honest, I really feel like Picking Up the Pieces, it's a really big miss for me. I have no clue what the cast are doing in this film. I feel a lot like they signed on because Woody Allen signed on. This would have been an experience of a lifetime, working with Woody Allen, and everybody seems to get a scene with him, Kiefer Sutherland and Woody Allen, Sharon Stone and Woody Allen, David Schwimmer and Woody Allen. And Woody Allen is his usual kind of quirky self, going through, that Woody Allen, way of speaking. However, as a character, he feels no regret for killing his wife for most of the film, and he's just trying to save his own behind. Candy, played by Sharon Stone, was having heaps of affairs, one of which was with Bobo, played by Kiefer Sutherland. And she was having so many affairs, but it doesn't feel like justification for, his actions of killing her. And there's really no comeuppance for anybody in this film. Kiefer Sutherland's character, Cindy's lover, is very two-dimensional and spends most of the film chewing on a toothpick. David Schwimmer comes off as really mopey and unlikable here, whereas in Friends, obviously, as Ross, he was redeemable and felt like, he was the kind of friend you could rely on. Here, he's sleeping with a prostitute who he feels for, but he's lying to his congregation, and he's not doing a very good job when everybody comes to town for the miracle. The film aims to be really comedic, with characters like the one played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He has acne on his face, and he wishes for the miracle of removing said acne, which makes him into a ladies' man. Then there's times where body parts are enlarged, and I'm talking about a penis, and I'm talking about breasts. And both are played for laughs, but they just don't sort of get there. The penis portrayed in this film goes from a micro penis, and everybody's making fun of him, to what looks like an incredibly ridiculous member. And the big breasts are really just an excuse for nudity in the film. The breast scene where they show them off to camera, it really feels gratuitous and it doesn't fit with the rest of the style of the film. The relationships really don't work. Father Leo's relationship with the prostitute doesn't work. You don't really buy the relationship with Sharon Stone's character and Woody Allen's character, and you kind of can't believe they were ever married, and there seems to be no reason for most of this. There's a scene at the beginning which kind of sets the tone for the confusion of the entire film. We watch Woody Allen in a flashback. He has a chainsaw, and he is doing a magic show, and he's cutting Sharon Stone in half. And she's clearly in the box, she's reacting really badly, and she's in pain, so it looks like a magic accident gone wrong is what has killed her. Also, in that sequence, Kiefer Sutherland's Bobo, the law enforcement, is watching the magic show. So this became incredibly confusing, and it seems like in that scene what would have happened is Woody Allen's character would have accidentally killed his wife, then have to dispose of the body and somehow finish the magic show with the law enforcement watching on. But then what's confusing as well is Bobo comes up to him and says, "What have you done with her? Where is she?" You know, he can't find Sharon Stone. He goes to her workplace and things like that. But he was there when she was chainsawed. So this confusion sets you up to be confused for the entire film. And at the same time, you're thinking, why was Woody Allen's character doing a magic show? Because isn't he a butcher? This makes no sense. And I think that it was supposed to be a dream sequence, but there wasn't the kind of fade that made you think it was. And so the whole film, you're in the dark. And the whole time, you're just being misled and constantly going, wait, what? The film was directed by the same guy that played El Guapo in The Three Amigos, so that was sort of interesting to see. He seems to have had a bit of a career behind the lens. Cheech Marin, who plays the mayor, thinks this is the worst film he's ever been in. And he was in a couple of really classic films. I'll just read them out here for you. The Magic of the Golden Bear, Goldie the Third, A Million to Juan, and The Shrimp on the Barbie. All classics, I'm sure, but this was worse. Picking Up the Pieces he considers worse than A Million to Juan. The film ends with a line, "If you don't think it's funny, then you can go fuck yourself," which acts as a big disclaimer for everything you've seen. I found this film incredibly frustrating. It was sort of fascinating to watch. You wanted to see how it ended. You wondered why Fran Drescher, Elliot Gould, Andy Dick, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, you wondered why all these people were in the movie. You sort of sat there going, why have they signed on to this? And it was fascinating. But at the same time, having been made in the year 2000, it's so recent that it's also disappeared for a reason. You can't go with the sort of fantasy elements of the film, and it makes it really complicated and overly muddled. And so you have to kind of really suspend belief. Literally, the Virgin Mary's hand in this film is a middle finger. So the whole film is a big fuck you to the audience. It's a fuck you to a lot of things. You get the sense of, they're trying to do a joke there, but nothing really lands. It's not funny, it's comical, and you can see that everyone's trying really hard. But anyway, it doesn't really work for me, and there's a reason that Picking Up the Pieces has vanished. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to continue Friends Month, and look out for our other obscure film reviews.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Check out our podcast at www.podmeifyoucan.com.